Hello, gentles and ladymen. I'm Ulan Gaming, and today we are going to be going over new skins. So, in case you guys didn't know, Forgotten Empires released a new DLC pack that includes lots of new different Explorer skins, and some of them are actually really, really good. The pack only costs like $5 to $6 depending on if you buy the Kuno each separately, and it's something that I would highly encourage people to go out of their way to buy, just because it is one of just because it is one of those few ways that you can support the devs that keep this game alive. I have every single piece of DLC for this game bought because I want the devs to keep making money so that they can keep feeding us updates. You know, they're not gonna feed us updates if they never get paid. So today we're going to be going over all of the new skins and what they look like. We'll be going into a skirmish match and attacking both, just so we can see the voice line, so we can hear the voice lines and see some of the animations involved. So we'll start with the Aztecs. So they originally had just these three, and the new one is called Goddess. She has a flaming torch, just like this fire guy here. And she has unique voice lines. She's also got a big bust, apparently. I don't think I didn't notice that. Probably not going to change the name from Ceaseless Discharge, because that one is legendary. But yeah, let's hop into a skirmish. So once we get in here, your team colors determine like her little wing patterns, as well as her face paint. And you'll hear that because she's a goddess, her voice is echoey and weird. But it's kind of cool in like a bizarre way. Also, it's gonna freak people out when you fight in game too, because when she gets hit, her knockback sounds are also like echoey. You'll see she has a flaming sword. As you hear that. She also has wings on her backside, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool looking skin. Big fan of this one, actually. Not going to be changing the name, but I will be keeping this as my active skin, at least for now. Going down the line, just from top to bottom here, next up is the British. These are past event quests. Their new one is General Warwick, who is a character from the campaign. He's got a very, very good looking model. He's got his own unique portrait. And he's got some cool voice lines as well, so we're gonna hop in. I'm definitely keeping him as my active explorer because it just looks way cooler than any of the other ones they've released. Definitely not changing the name from Mike Hunt, though. That's perfect. Alright, so yeah, we have General Warwick. He's got his own voice lines straight out of the campaign. Really slick-looking model, actually.
I'll consider it done. Right.
He just has that, like, evil energy. I love it.
Attack!
Nothing particularly special about his attack animations, though. I do like his sword, though. It looks pretty cool. Alright, fixed. Now, unfortunately, China is one of the few civilizations that did not receive any new explorers in this patch, so no changes here. Ethiopia, likewise. Ethiopia did receive a new one, if I'm not mistaken, and that is this Emperor Tuwadros, who is not particularly special as far as I can tell. It's definitely a different model, though. You get that white horse, which is nice looking. Voice lines are exactly the same. It's definitely just a more decorative horse. France now has a couple new ones, actually. They got two new ones out of this. They have Captain Pakaudi. This captain from New France has mastered fort defenses and is known to keep his white uniform clean in between all dirty combat. And then we also have the Fenning sister, who is equally as fancy, basically. Yeah, let's hop in. We'll check this one out first. Yeah, you do have to appreciate that white coat. He almost looks like a soldado. I actually really like this model. It's very clean. Very, very clean. The voice lines are exactly the same. I'm actually a big fan of this one, I'm not gonna lie. The other explorer they have is the Fernig sister. The famous Phoenix sisters dress like men, fight like men. But which of the sailors is she? Oh, the sisters, I'm assuming. This one will be new voice lines because it's a female explorer.
Correct. Très bien. Correct. Oui.
So here's her new voice lines.
Très bien. Oui.
I'm not really sure which of the two new voice lines I prefer. In terms of the new model, she's got a very slick tricorn that is very nice. And look at the purple coat with the red team color outlines. This is a very good looking model, I must say. It's really I really don't know which of the new French ones I prefer. I think we'll stick with the female explorer just for mine. And we're gonna keep our name Sinkosin Tangent. A little bit of a math joke for anybody interested. Germany. Germany has one of my favorites of the new models, by far. We have the female German explorer, Fraulein. This one is an ex-bartender who decides that she's, or like a barmaid who decides she's gonna go to the New World and colonize. But this one is very, very special, and you'll see why in a second. And it's when she is like, it's because she's German, right? So when it says she's a bartender, she really fucking means it, because she comes with a pitcher of alcohol that she just keeps on her at all times. Also, you got these German voice lines that are great. And I need to find something to shoot, because you guys are gonna love this. She's got just this mug of alcohol. She's very clearly spilling as she just walks all over the place with it.
Verstanden. Wird erledigt. Verstanden.
Here we go.
Richtig. Verstanden.
So her gun animation's not anything special, but her inner melee, she whacks people with sacks with her can of alcohol. It's wonderful. This is like the best new skin of the bunch by far. Also, look at that pattern on the back. I like it a lot. Haudenosaunee got 0 new skins. Hausa likewise got no new skins. I think, at least I don't think this one is new.
Last one's new. The Queen
Oh, it is
Amina
new?
one.
Oh, yeah, it is new? Okay.
And the Ethiopian isn't, though, but that's whatever.
Yeah. So Hausa did get a skin. Unfortunately, Ethiopia did not, but Hausa did. Queen Amina, she is the civilization, like, caricature, if I'm not mistaken. So that's cool that we get her. I can lie, it looks a little goofy. Not as goofy as the new Indian one. You guys will see that in a bit, but, like... I don't know how much I like this one, I'm gonna be honest. It kind of looks like she's floating on top of the camel. And sitting directly on the hump instead of, like, in front or behind it. It's gotta be painful for the camel. Like, right? Surely. Inca got a new one. It's just their first female one, so they have both male and females. So this new one has some pretty cool voice lines. She's got, like, a giant club instead of, like, a halberd with a blade on it, like some of the others do. It's a really unique-looking weapon. Actually a big fan of this one. We're gonna keep the name Inky Squid, but we're definitely gonna put the new one on for keeps. I actually like the new voice lines, mostly because we can actually, like, hear them. Because the old Inca Explorer voice lines, you, like, could not understand at all. Oh, they were so silly. A very patterned outfit. This one looks good. I like this one a lot. Alright, Indians! These ones have a bit of a goofy one. So, they're new explorers. So they go from having, like, old, saggy dudes with, like, really long white beards, to having, like, this dude who very clearly shares the same skeleton model, which gives him, like, this hunchback appearance that is supposed to be fitting for this guy, but looks kind of weird on him. He's supposed to be, like, the dude from the campaign, here. But he just looks really weird with his head crooked forward like that. He also comes with a sword, which I don't think was very well thought out. because the elephant explorers don't attack with melee weapons. They just let the elephants do all the work.
One.
Also, having a named character have like doubles of himself is a little weird. This one is funny, but it's a little odd. Like, these are named characters, and their only visual difference is their shoulder pad, essentially. And then they have swords, right? But when they attack, I'm gonna like back away and get back into the open. When they attack, the swords don't do anything. They just let the elephants do all the work. This was not a very well thought out skin, but it's funny because it's not well thought out, so I'll take it. Oh, the heal animation, that's right! Oh, it looks like he stabs himself with his sword there. Yeah, his sword just goes right through his hand model. This was not a well thought out skin, but it's very funny. Italians did not get a new skin this patch, unfortunately. The Japanese got the Kunoichi, which is part of its own separate little pack that costs 99 cents. It's a pretty cool one. I unfortunately did not get to go to this event, but this one unlocked itself for me, so that's kind of neat.
Thank God for Explorer customizations.
Hey Chase, how's it going?
What up?
The Kunoichi Explorer name is still fantastic. Definitely not changing it, but we're definitely keeping this new skin, because this new skin is wonderful. They actually have some really... you can easily tell the difference between them just because their outfits are very differently colored. One of them being black with highlights, and one of them being just bright in patterns. So yeah, solid model. I like this one. The Lakota did get one new skin. It's kind of like... This is one of the two skins that I'm not really a big fan of. So this is one of the campaign characters from the final stage of the game, which is cool. But, like, it looks very similar to just the default Explorer skin. It doesn't really look very different. Kind of my issue. Like this one looks pretty different across the board. And it is neat. It's also another campaign character, but I don't know. These two just feel really, really similar to me. They also share the exact same voice lines. And they also share a portrait as well. They don't have a unique portrait. So yeah, at long distance, you can't even tell it's remotely different. Except I think the horse is whiter. Yeah, this looks just like standard Lakota, except for a white horse. I mean, the white horse is nice, but, like, still. Not a big fan of this one. Maltese, much like the Italians, did not get any new Explorer skins, so we're gonna stick with Blueberry El Tigre. Mexico is the only civilization in this pack that got two new skins. They got this young lady right here. Yeah. So we'll check this one out. This is definitely the one I prefer least of the two, although you gotta give credit to the huge amounts of bandoliers that she's just got wrapped around her whole body. Very, very cool. Also, I like her hat. She's got a great hat. And then the other one is the real star of the show here. This one right here, La Katrina. She's a flower girl. She's got lots of flowers. She's got flowers everywhere. Flowers, flowers, flowers. And much like this one right here, she just carries around a bouquet of flowers, and she has a flowery sword as well. It's pretty cool. She's not hitting things with a bouquet of flowers, but she has, like, very much so an obvious, like, flower crossguard on her sword. This one is, I think, the real star of the show here in terms of the two new skins. Oh, here we go. Here, watch her new sword. Like, it's got, like, flower petals on the guard. Very fancy. And then she actually still carries around her bouquet while she attacks, too. So there's that. Ottomans, they got a campaign character as their skin. They got Sahin. They will obviously have a lot of new Explorer customizations once the new event comes out next week. But for now, you can go from having a giant bulb on your head to being a campaign character that looks relatively normal. Admittedly, though, when you are in the game, the model looks a little bit too similar, I think, to the Russia one when you're just looking far away. It can very much so be mistaken for a Russian explorer. Which is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, there are a lot of characters that have pretty similar skins. When you go in, it's very clearly that it's Nahid and not some Russian dude with the hat. But yeah, this is actually a pretty solid skin. It doesn't have any unique voice lines, so there's that. But yeah, there you go. Also, I think I skipped over the Dutch, so let's go back to them. Yeah, I did skip over the Dutch. Dutch got a really new really cool new explorer. So this is their old one, and this is the new one. William the Silent. He's some dude with like Black Knight armor, and he shares the voice lines, but it's just such a cool upgrade to the base skin that it's really cool. That armor is in fact black, by the way. It changes the highlights rather than the plating.
Commando? Ja, juist. Okay. Juist.
Yeah, it changes his trousers.
Ja.
Very, very cool looking model. I'm a big fan of this one. I love that armor that he's got. Just the fact that you get a Black Knight permanently as your explorer is just so cool to me. So yeah, big fan of this one. Portugal got their very first new explorer skin, Maria of Portugal. She's a rich lady. That's her whole character according to the description. And it shows. It's a very snazzy model, and one that will definitely be replacing the normal one for me. She's just a lady in a fancy dress with, like, Princess Leia hair, seemingly. That's all. Then that's all it needs to be, you know? It doesn't need to be anything special. Also, female Portugal voice lines. The Russians got a really cool looking skin. So this was their old one. The one that I think at far can be mistaken for Nahid. And they also got this new one, the Boyar. Look at this guy. He's got like that pointed Russian hat, and that pointed helmet, and that metal chainmail. It's a really slick looking model. And when we go in, he's got some really cool animations too. They gave him like a full-on, like full-size glaive / polearm as his weapon that he swings around at the speed of a sword. I'm a big fan of this model. This model looks really, really good. And when he goes into melee, he just pulls out this giant fucking glaive. Just imagine getting hit by that, by a dude who just swings that thing around at that speed. The Spanish kinda got not the best one in the world. So this is their base, and then this is their new one. As you can see, they look hilariously similar. Pretty much all that's new is that the new one is like kind of cleaned up and got some snazzier gear. It's an upgrade off of the original skin, but it's basically the original skin but fancier. I don't think I'm going to be changing mine off of the female villager. But hey, if you are interested, we'll go in and check this out for you. It's definitely a much slicker looking skin, and it's much shinier too. He's also got his own unique portrait now, which is pretty good looking, actually. He's got this red feather on the side of his cap. That's very clearly on the wrong side of his cap in the portrait compared to the model, but hey, whatever. It's just slicker looking than the generic Spain one. All honesty, I do prefer the heroic villager one, so it's not going to be one that changes much for me. Hey, look, birds. Swedes got their first new explorer. You go from having this dude here to having the literal queen of Sweden fighting for you. But this is such a good model. You got that that long hair, and she just uses the generic female explorer model. But look at that jacket, man! What a slick-looking model. As for voice lines, I do think that the male voice lines are just way better because the Sweden male voice is like legendary for being the most manly-sounding explorer in the game. But this is a pretty slick-looking model. I'm a big fan of it. And lastly, USA got Amelia as a skin, so now they have the generic explorer, Uncle Sam, the astronaut, and a campaign character. So a bit of a quite the mixed bag there. Lots of diversity in the skins. We'll hop in here. You know, she's got Amelia's portrait, she's got Amelia's voice lines. It's pretty much exactly what you expect.
I'm ready. I'll do it. I'm going now.
Orders?
Yes, I'm ready. Yes, right. I'll do it. I'm going. Attack!
It's the same Amelia we all know and love. You just get to use her in a normal game instead of just the campaign. That's all it is. She's got her falchion. It's wonderful. It's a good skin. I'm not going to change mine off of the astronaut, though. So, yeah, that's all of these skins. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day.
I'm going now.
And goodbye. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This was, as ever, a ton of fun to make. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. And have a great day.